Day 89, ladies and gentlemen, of our 1000 Dawns. And as a little bit of a change of pace, I am actually sitting down because, well, how on earth am I even supposed to do this video? Because it's nearly 8 o'clock at night, and I must admit right now, guys, it's not even, the glare of outside that's giving me this look. I'm not gonna lie. I've literally felt unwell all day. That's why I look this pale. But let me just phrase it to you like this. In fact, to be honest, I don't even really want to call it unwell. It's just I have been tired literally all day long. So today was my first day off from work in 6 days of doing night shifts. But let me just phrase it to you like this, is that the worst thing about having a day off after 6 days exclusively doing night shifts is that everything happens far too late. When you get at home from a night shift at 4:30 in the morning, it's already outside, even at this time of year, the beginning of the Great Dawn. So you sort of get out of bed. So I get through the door and I can still hear birds tweeting away from outside. So that's an interesting side effect. Then what happened after that is that I slept until at least midday. So I got at least 7.5 hours of sleep. So you may be thinking that's not too bad, but with having an actual day off, I must admit, I think my brain just has become so scrambled with work to do when I'm not at, things I do online that do not involve going to work. But I just sort of I just sort of feel like I had no idea where I was meant to start with things. I try to do quite a lot of things because, listen, we'll get to that shortly. And well, as a result of all of these factors, I finally just sort of got about as much as I could done by about 4 o'clock, and then had a period of going to sleep, trying to just get a little bit of fresh air, then going back to sleep again. To be honest, just for the last couple of days, I feel like I could have just spent the entire day in bed and literally not cared one way or the other. It's not a great look, I'll be honest, guys, and it's not really the sort of thing I really would care to repeat. Chiefly because, well, just of how much there is to do and how much I've got to get done. So, putting all of that aside just for one moment, let me paraphrase a few things for you guys going forwards, because there's many other things we still have to talk about. And I think I mentioned before, that's the reason why I'm sitting down, is because, honestly, aside the fact that my feet are so red, so sore, and so badly blistered, I think it would just be better if I just, sat down and did this. We are now at the end of the first third of 2026. There are now only 8 months left of the year to go. There's only 246 days, I think, to my knowledge, left to go. And I must admit, even at this stage of proceedings, how exactly do I feel with how things are going so far? Kind of a little bit, it's somewhere between nervous and a little bit more apprehensive. I'm apprehensive in the sense about, well, what we've managed to get done so far, but what else we still have to do. And that leaves me a little concerned, because I made mention about a few days ago just how much I actually had to get done before the year was over. And I talked about how overwhelming the amount of work that one person, myself, has to do. And I've also talked extensively about, well, is it even theoretically possible? It is, but that's only in theory. Whereas putting it all together presents more practical difficulties. The biggest one of all is very simply time more than anything. Well, you know what? Make time. It's as simple as that. Well, the problem with making time is that when I'm not at work, when I'm not having time at the gym, preparing for a 2-day charity event, I'm doing this. And a big issue with what's going on is the fact that it means that, well, coming up in July, I would have been making videos on YouTube now for 8 years. And I've spent almost my entire 20s trying to make this work. And throughout all the hiccups, the pauses, the stops here and there is a part of me deep down inside that sort of thinks that, well, was this absolutely worth it? Or rather, what exactly have I missed out on? Well, I could have been outside, but, well, what exactly do you do when you do get outside? These are things that I've come up against before, and I'm not really too sure if I've really made the right choices sometimes. And it's a difficult feat, this sort of question, because in some ways I feel like, well, whether I've made the right choice or not seems to be irrelevant, because it's happening right now, and I have to make the most out of what I've chosen, and if not, do something different, but get on with it, so to speak. But with that being said, I still feel a little bit deep down inside about, well, considering what there is now going forwards. And please bear in mind, guys, is that with the remaining 8 months of this year, things are going to get a lot harder. And I'm not talking about at my day. Like, the only way in which my day job can get any more difficult is the knowledge that actually I want to be able to get a promotion. And the only way I'm going to get a promotion is basically to prove a level of competency at what I do that surpasses pretty much every other member of staff. Which is not impossible, don't get me wrong. It's just, it's a big undertaking. And I wonder, and maybe the powers that be will also think, is it too much too soon? But then again, I had said, again, like a couple of months ago, that I was planning on, taking things rather gently. But I feel like I've kind of arrived at the stage where maybe taking I think I'm at a relatively all right pace insofar as what I've done so far, and the only other way forwards from this point is to, well, accelerate or make myself even more useful in other ways. And there's loads of ways of doing it. It's just whether it will be enough and whether or not I can actually manage to make it work, we will have to wait and see. But for now, that's just, I am at a very, very interesting crossroads in my mind, ladies and gentlemen. It is of knowing what I've got to do, knowing that I've got to get on with it and just do it like any other. But there's also the notion of, well, will it work, and can I, what difference will it all make in the end? Difficult questions. And because there's so much uncertainty in the middle of all this, I have to just, well, go with my instincts and, well, get on with it all the same. And I think that's just about that. So, yeah, a lot to come, ladies and gentlemen. And whether, whether, I know I'm very, very uncertain about how I'm going to make it all work. But, well, I know I'm just going to. So I think that is, as they say, that. And I will see all of you guys again next time. Thank you. Hopefully I have enough moral strength and stuff like that to actually, stand up in future videos. Hopefully. Maybe.